here we go.
Grand Rising, Elizabeth. Hope everyone is doing wonderful, enjoying the sunshine this day. I love the look of it. It's good for my eyes as I look out there because it's not too bright for me to look at. Sun gazing, as they say. Today is October 3rd, 2023. Wow, October.
Already.
Time is just going through.
Yeah, already.
I know, but you know what? I'm not complaining. I'm still here amongst the living. Oh, well, if I wasn't, I guess it'd still be okay, huh?
I guess.
Right, exactly.
You'll be dealing with other things.
Exactly right.
On the spirit side.
There you go. Well, let's see here. I guess I get started with my oracle reading. Let's see, I did pull it already. And we have today, Ala, A-L-A. She is the goddess of grief. She is of the Nigeria tribe, the temple, Lover's Temple, and the bush element. Ancient Earth Mother Ala is the foremost Igbo goddess. Allah oversees motherhood, fertility, and the afterlife. After death, humans return to the womb of Allah, replanted in the soul to reincarnate. Allah's guidance is, give spirit your grief, bawl it out, wail it out, cry it out, sob, shriek, shed tears, surrender it. The embodiment is, you are holding unprocessed grief. You want to skip over it and get back to normal. But grief doesn't go away because you ignore it. The only way to healing is to walk through it. Losing a loved one is the ultimate heartbreak. But you also experience grief after breakups, job loss, and disappointments. Self-love and self-care are required. Ask for support. Be gentle with yourself. The goddess declaration is, I am supported by my loved ones, those who are seen and those who are unseen. I want to read that again because it really means a lot to me. The goddess declaration is, I am supported by my loved ones, those who are seen and those who are unseen. I think about my father and my sister, they went to another element, and it's good to know they're still looking at me. They're still protecting me. That's nice to know. That's good to know. Does anyone have anything to share?
No, I like where you said, do what you got to do. It's just a process. So if you got to cry, if you got to laugh, if you got to whatever, the expression to get it out, to express yourself, go ahead and do that. That's okay.
Yes. It's okay, right? Exactly.
The fighting, it just makes it worse.
It does.
And some people, oh God, I wish they just stop. They're not going to stop until they stop.
True. That's right.
Because when it hits you, to cry and stuff, but it also hits you to laugh and stuff when you think of things. So
that's true. Yeah, that's true. Thank you for sharing that. Yes. Anyone else want to share? Okay, all right, well. Yeah, today we do not have a speaker right now. But I did want to give a personal report. Queen noticed that I had I have a scarf on today, which is different for me. This is new. But I will admit that I used to wear this every day of my life when I was in the Nation of Islam. Because we would cover our hair. But I have plenty of these. I have different colors and different types. Some are heavier for the winter, but I have a lot of them. But today is a special day because I wanted to wear it because it's been a couple weeks now, or a week when I first mentioned that I had an issue with my neck. It was very painful. We talked about it. Reverend Omani, she chimed in, gave me a few words on that, which I appreciate. But I do want to give you all an update on that because it's kind of a miracle. And I want to share miracles. That's fun stuff, right?
Right.
Okay, so what happened was I initially told you all that I did the gargling for the first time in years, that I gargled with a special it's a toothpaste, but it's not liquid or anything, but when I brush my teeth, it's like a powder toothpaste. And I received that one from the IKEA Waken. I bought it. And so he told in one of his videos that you should gargle when you finish brushing, gargle, so that they help with your tonsils. The tonsils will get lymph nodes moving. So I said, okay, well, let me try it. But then when I did it, something happened with my neck. Okay, let me back up. I had a nodule on my neck. It's little, like maybe about, I don't know if you can see the size of it, but it wasn't too big. You would have never, it would have been hard for you to see if I didn't have anything on. But I wanted it to go away. So when you talked about the tonsils moving lymph, I was really interested in it moving that nodule, whatever was in it, move it down so it can secrete out my urine or wherever, right? That's what I'm thinking gonna happen. However, it didn't happen that way. No, what happened was when I gargled and all that stuff, those lymph nodes did get moving, which was good. I was happy. But what it did was it needs to come out right there at the space in my neck, not go down to my, my urine and all that and go out that way. No. So believe it or not, the body is so smart. It knows what it needs to do. I didn't know, of course. I'm thinking it's going to do something totally different.
Yeah.
But it actually bored a hole in my neck, literally. When I was talking about that pain in my neck,
yeah,
during that process, a hole was being formed in my neck. Just natural. Nothing. I didn't go to a hospital or nothing like that, of course. But it actually was forming a hole in my neck. So now I'm in the process of, for the last week, thank goodness that I do not have a squeamish husband, because he had to help me with this process. But it was secreting fluids out of that hole. And that nodule that I was concerned about is going away. It's actually going away, but that is still secreting a little bit of fluid. And the pain is gone. I don't even feel it anymore. So thank goodness. I mean, nature is so amazing.
Yeah.
I went through something, but so far, so it's okay. So why I have this on here is because I have a bandage on my neck. to make sure that, the secretions or whatever is not coming out on my shirt and all that. So I have a bandage on. Thank you, Mama Head. That's right. I'm giving thanks. This is a praise report.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I am. So that's why I have this one, because I'm going to be getting out later, and I don't want everybody like, what's wrong with her? What's wrong with her? Whatever, you know how people do. So yeah, so that's that issue. Yes. So I'm doing good, doing better. But I did want to let you all know that if you have like different things that need to be, if you have nodules or something that needs to be secreted, that the body might form its own hole to release, or it can go through your urine and all that another way too. So, or sweat or however. Any questions?
Well,
Any comments?
I just think that is so amazing because, like you said, the body will find its way out,
Yeah.
And God is amazing. How he hooks us up. My God, she is something else.
Exactly. And sometimes, I heard it said, and I hope I say it the right way, is that we think, and then God laughs at us. Like, oh, you think that's how it's gonna go?
Yeah, right.
Like, I got some empathy for your little behind.
Right.
Hey, Mama Head.
And then the nodule went away as well. It's going away as well.
It's going away, yeah. It's pretty much gone. It's a little mark. I'm gonna have to use some kind of thing to blend the skin color back. But
aloe vera will do that, baby. Aloe vera takes the scars away.
Okay, good deal. I would definitely
ma'am.
do that. I'm gonna write that down right here.
Yes, ma'am. And I love how you have your t-shirt on with the top. That's beautiful. I like that look.
Thank
so
you.
I said, oh, you got your hoodie on today. I'm thinking she got, and she said no.
Right.
Well, they match, so I just thought she had
it looks good.
Yeah.
Thank you. You know what? The other day, my son, I had another one on because I had a yellow, I think, on or something. He said, "Ma, you look so beautiful like that." He said, "I want my wife to always wear that kind of thing." I'm like, okay. I said, well, I thanked him for the compliment. But I told him that when I was in the nation, I wore this every day. This was my
hijab.
Yeah. Exactly. And so, this was casual, because I did have an actual garment that I wore too, but
yeah,
but this is casual.
So
I asked my husband, I was like, "This look all right to you?" He's like, I think you look cute. I was like, okay, all right. All right. I'm glad that worked out. I don't want to be around here looking crazy. Okay.
Where's Samsung? So I can put your name on here.
Is that Mama Head? Or no, that's Ebony.
Oh, okay. Okay, Ebony.
Yes, I'll be right back. I'm about to get on my computer.
Oh, okay. I won't even change it. Yeah.
Okay, Mama Head, you said Grand Praise Report Rising. The Grand Rising Elizabeth Show is a safe space. We have to share so we can be informed. Yes, exactly. That's why I wanted to share that because, this is new to me. This whole process was new. I was never fearful or anything, but I didn't know. I was ignorant. But I walked through it very slowly. But if we all share this kind of stuff, it won't be foreign to us,
Okay.
So yeah, that's very important to share things, that we're going through, because we're all going through stuff. We all are.
So Deitra, that wasn't a boil?
Okay.
I'm just asking because they get very, they'll become they start off as a knot, like you said, a nodule, and then they're very sore around, and then they leak pus. So I'm not sure if that was what you were experiencing.
It never hurt. That nodule, that little bump or whatever, never hurt.
Oh, I thought you said you were sore.
Okay, hold on. It only hurt when I gargled and it actually had lymph nodes were moving, and that's when it hurt. That's
Oh, okay.
start forming that area where it was seeping. It started coming out.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it didn't look like a boil. Believe me, I can show you pictures. We took pictures of this thing. It didn't look like a boil.
Okay.
It looks like I don't know if you've ever seen where you can plug in something. I don't have a plug up here like that, but you plug it into a little straight. It's about as thin as a pin.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like a circle thing, and you can plug something in.
Mm-hmm.
That's how big the hole is. It's just this little bitty hole. And so I'm gonna have to work on healing that after this goes away.
Mm-hmm.
Stop seeping, because it's still coming out a little bit, but
Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
no. I ain't scratching nothing. Believe me, I couldn't even touch this a few days ago. It was like, oh. It's so funny because my husband would want to hug me and he would go to the side. I was like, nope, go over here, because I couldn't stand anything around it.
Yeah.
For me, even to put this on and tie it, believe me, I'm a step ahead. I'm moving forward.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So it was a lot of sleepless nights. I get up in the middle of the night and was like, I gotta change it. I had to change the dressing. 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm changing the dressing. I want to be asleep.
So how long before it started the seeping?
From
the time you started the process,
I would say 3 days.
Really? Mm-hmm.
It started seeping. And then it was like, the nodule got bigger. I was like, and it looked nasty. I was like, oh God, what is going on, right? I mean, of course, a lot of questions going through my mind. But it got bigger. It was sore. I was like, oh God, how long is this gonna last, right? But then, sure enough, it started seeping. Everything started going down. I wasn't feeling any kind of irritation. And so it's been going down ever since. So it's going good.
Yeah, that's good. Well, congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm. What's
And
up, Mama Cat?
Up, though. Grand Rising, Elizabeth. I'm good. I'm in a good space. I've been feeling kind of lately, but I'm good. Still pressing.
I'm glad you showed up.
Show up, girl. Show up.
Keep pressing on.
That's right. We got to do it. It was interesting. I wanted to have an iridology reading. I don't know who's had.
You didn't have it yet?
Oh, I did talk about that. Okay. Now with Yaki, no, I did not. Because you have to take pictures of the eye, and Terrence was kind of like, I don't know if I'm doing this right. So maybe you can go to someone here, local.
Mm-hmm.
So I put out to a few folks, do they know of someone who have done this and that is good, reputable person? So Mama Razia sent me someone, and I called her. I have an appointment Thursday to have an iridology reading. So I'm gonna have it local first. I'm gonna do it local before I go to Yaqui with all that other stuff. Yeah, so that should be nice. I'm looking forward to it.
So
What's
when do you
what's
plan
the
to
reading?
go there?
Okay, it's two people talking. Say it again, Queen.
No, I was just asking, when do you plan to go to Yaqui?
Okay, Yaqui is a 2 to 3 week waiting time. So once you send your information and the pictures, it'll be 2 to 3 weeks before he lets you know when you can come in. So I have no idea when that's going to be yet.
Mm-hmm.
I know he was here this past weekend, so I'm sure. I know he got people working in St. Louis, but that man is busy. He is busy. So I don't have a date yet, but I'll do that a little later.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go see this woman on Thursday and get a take on different minerals. She's gonna give me a breakdown of what minerals I need, just to get an idea of what's going on with all this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. What were you saying, Ebony?
What is the iridology reading?
It's with the eyes. They'll look
Oh.
into your eyes and find out the condition of your body.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they can tell you, they can get all, yeah, the eyes. The window to the soul.
Exactly. So I'm gonna get that done. I told my son about it. He said, "I ain't never heard of that." I was like, "I guess you didn't," But yeah, but he said it sounds interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what? I realized that those kind of gifts to people would be nice. Give them a gift of iridology or reflexology or something. Those are nice gifts for your family. That's my thought anyway. Greetings, Maureen. Grand Rising.
Grand Risings, guys. I'm about to shovel a whole bunch of mulch in my yard, so I got to keep you in my pocket so I don't distract. Thank you for welcoming me.
Okay. Have fun mulching.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-mm.
So when Maureen mentioned she was shoveling the last time, I thought she was shoveling snow already.
No snow yet, please. No snow. Not yet. So, no, thinking of what Maureen is doing, I thought we saw something about tending to gardens and things like that.
Yeah,
it was
Deitra, you gonna be gardening today, aren't you? Sister Deitra?
that's Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday. Okay.
Tomorrow, yeah. You mean the planting?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Wednesday, tomorrow at 12:30. Yeah, but no, we were watching something on TV, me and the family here, and Terrence was like, you really want to be a gardener. I mean, you want to be, a person that's growing your own food and all that, because it takes dedication. Because, all that weeding and it takes some stuff. It takes time. Because I had a garden right here on my deck, and it took some time. Maureen can attest to that. Who is 586-209?
That's Sharonda.
Oh, okay. Hey, Sharonda.
Good morning, Grand Rising.
Grand Rising.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I see Mama had put a statement in a comment. The Chinese doctor in Canada and the border did that technique.
Which
Okay, with the eye. Okay.
Oh, iridology.
Yeah, I don't know if he still does. I don't know if he's still there, but we used to go over there to get the shishi cow tea. And the shishi cow tea helped remove the mucus from the body.
Oh, nice. It did work.
Yeah, he was over there, but I'm not sure if he's still there. That was so many years, about 20 some years ago.
Okay. You know, there's another Chinese place. Is it DeQuinder? Oh, DeQuinder, and I forget the name of it, but it's another Chinese place over there that I've been to. But I've been over there in Canada too, when my father was going through cancer, quote unquote cancer. He gave me some things to give for him. My dad was looking at me like I was who the he was not taking all that stuff, but he took that. No, he didn't do chemo either. He didn't want to do that. But I am familiar with the Chinese doctor over in Canada. Oh, Mama Head, do you by any chance know how to spell the shishi cow?
We haven't seen it in quite some time because we used to get it at Harmony Gardens over on Palmer. You could talk, Baba.
Oh, SHESHECAO.
Okay, thank you.
Wrote it out. Okay, you got it. Okay,
I got it. Yes.
Yeah, shishi cows. It came in a green and white can, and we would, teaspoon or two, teaspoon and a half. But I haven't seen it lately. We're gonna have to find it. I wonder if, I hate to say it, but I wonder if they got it on Amazon.
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up.
And it's good for elimination. I mean, for what is it good for again?
Well, I remember one of the most things that I remember was that it took care of the mucus. It would remove the mucus, the excess from your body.
Okay.
So
thank you.
We used to do that all the time. Just keep it. Then they stopped selling it, and then we had to go to Canada and get. You gotta be careful because we're really not supposed to.
Exactly. Right. Because
Canada, one of the things that they would, always have the medicines less expensive than here in the city. The United States. Rather, it's just really a shame that, and when I look back and think about it, when we had doctors and nurses and whatnot in the past, you would go, they would do a full workup on you. And once we got healthcare, it became a whole nother world. That became the business, if you will.
Exactly.
Not the healing of people, but the medicine of the practice of medicine,
Right.
But that it just became a whole new thing where, we're going to push things, they became pushers, if you will.
Exactly.
Straight when you go in, they want to give you medicine, because I know when I hurt myself one time, I had hurt my leg, and I went to the doctor. I said, don't give me any pills. I want give me some physical therapy things to do to help this, until you learn that it's whatever you're dealing with is what's causing it. And then Reverend Omani just topped that cake with ice and said, what's the truth? You get to the truth, you won't have these diseases. When she said that, I think we all went like,
right.
Like the Bobo doll,
Exactly.
But yeah, some truth we're not dealing with, a situation, a job, experience with yourself and other people.
That's true.
9 times out of 10, it starts inside. So whatever you're feeling inside, it's gonna be projected out, because whatever it is got to get out. And it comes out in anger or addictions and whatnot,
Thank you for sharing that, Mama Head. You know what? On Saturday, Mama Razia had a get together, and it was absolutely beautiful. It was collective, Lotus Collective, that was the name of it. And then the people that assisted Mama Razia were from the Dow Center or something like that. But they actually cooked the food, most of the food, some of it was from Mama Razia, but they led it. And it was absolutely beautiful. You know, and the theme was, what's in your medicine cabinet? And it was like, you know, you should have things in your medicine cabinet that are natural, you know, not ibuprofen and all that stuff, but just natural things you can have on hand. So, you know, people were able to share things about that. And that was really interesting. You know, and I thought about I have a bunch of herbs. I have a whole bunch of stuff. Like even my toothpaste is special. Yeah. But, you know, just, you know, since I'm on it, it's good to have water filters on your water showers and things. You know, that would be helpful because we're getting a lot of toxins from our water. I don't know if anyone can bear witness to that, but it's important to have water filters to get the chlorine out, the fluoride out, you know, to alleviate that getting into your skin. Has anyone heard that before?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And some
Can you
people,
repeat
the
that,
whole house,
Deitra?
Say it again, Queen.
no, I was just saying, some people have the filtering through the whole house, the water.
Yes.
And filtered,
That's
you know, no matter where you go, the water, if you're getting water, it's filtered through the house system.
Oh, great. Okay, Mama, hey, to your question, I was just saying that we should have water filters in our home to eliminate the chlorine and fluoride and whatever else is in this water that can get in the body. Because our skin is, you know, one way to get in and out of this blood system. So you want to make sure whatever you put on your skin, well, I say you should be able to eat it, you know. So if you're drinking, if you can drink the water from your shower, that's good, long as it's filtered. But we shouldn't put certain lotions all over our bodies and all that stuff. Because the skin gets right to the bloodstream. Okay, Mama Head says, I use the Brita system with quartz crystal.
And Shugite.
Oh, okay.
I didn't admit, yeah, I type Shugite in the computer type shit.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good. Thank you for sharing that, Mama Head.
Well,
yes.
I have something to read if you want, if you don't mind.
Oh, no, I don't mind.
This is from Communion with God.
Okay.
By Neil Donald Walsh.
Yeah, I think I have that book. Yeah.
Yeah, I read all through these things. It brought me through.
Yes.
Time. So, okay. So this is communion with God. And it's different from like communion at church.
Right.
So God has spoken to you many times in many ways over many years, but seldom as directly as this. For some of you who don't know who Neil Donald Walsh is, he wrote Conversations with God, Friendship with God, Communion with God, Heaven, Home with God, Revelations, And then I stopped there. So
And they actually had a movie out too about him.
yeah, he was a guy that was really pissed off at God and the way his life was going. And so he gets with he's in his space, and he just shuts in, and he's fussing and really pissed off with God. And then God speaks to him.
Yes.
And the whole thing starts like, what? Well, you've been calling me some names too, you know.
Right. Right.
And the conversation starts. So this is the third one.
Uh-huh.
And it says, but this time I speak to you as you. I speak to you, small y, as you, capital Y.
Mm.
And that has occurred on only a handful of occasions in the whole of your history. Few humans have had the courage to hear me in this way as themselves. Y'all get that?
Mm.
As yourself. Yeah. And fewer still have shared with others what they have heard. Those few who have listened and shared have changed the world.
Mm.
Now these names, Aesop, Aesop, Confucius, Lao Lao-TZU.
Lao Tzu.
Say it.
Lao Tzu.
Okay.
Chinese.
Buddha, Muhammad, Moses, and Jesus were among them. So too, Chuang-Tzu, Aristotle, Huang Po, Sahara, Mahabharati, Krishnamurti, all them, anyway, all whole bunch of other names as well. Oh, he still keeps saying a whole bunch of names I can't. So in other words, there's been more. And more others not mentioned here. This list could go on, yet relative to the total number of humans who have inhabited your planet, the number is minuscule.
Mm.
These few have been my messengers, for all have brought forward the truth within their hearts as best as they understood it, as purely as they knew it, or knew how. And while they have each done so through imperfect filters, they have nonetheless brought to your awareness extraordinary wisdom from which the whole human race has benefited.
Mm.
What is amazing is how similar their insights have been, offered at vastly different times and places, separated by legions and centuries. They might just as well have been speaking all at the same time. So
Wow.
many have been the variances between them, and so huge the commonalities. Now it is time to expand this list to include others living today as my latest messengers. We will speak with one voice unless we do not. You will not, you will make that choice, even as you have always done. For in each moment of now, have you made your decisions and announced it in action. I like when he say, we will speak with one voice unless we do not.
Right.
Because you still have choice. Okay. You will make that choice, he says, even as you have always done. We've always been the one making the choice. For in each moment of now, you have made your decision and announced it in your actions. At the beginning, your thoughts are mine, and mine are yours. At the beginning, it can be no other way. There is only one source of that which is, and the one source is that which is. I like that.
I know, right?
All things emanate from that source, then permeate the lessons all over. I'm sorry, no, that's not. The isness, okay. All things emanate from that source, then permeates the isness all over and reveal themselves as individuations of the whole. The individual interpretations of the one message produce the miracle of oneness in many forms. This oneness in many forms is what you call life. Life is God, interpreted, that is translated into many forms. The first level of translation is from the unified non-physical to the individuated non-physical. How does that look? Unified from the unified non-physical to the individuated non-physical. The second level of translation is from the individuated non-physical to the individuated physical. The third level of translation is from the individuated physical into the unified physical. The fourth level of translation is from the unified physical into the unified non-physical. Then the cycle of life is complete. Oh, okay. So it's just talking about from when we come to when we leave. The levels that we go through, the process that we go through.
Okay.
Then the cycle of life is complete. The continuing process of the translation of God produces endless variety within God's unity. This variety of the unity is what I called individuation. It is the individual expression of that which is not separate, but which can be individually expressed. I'm gonna read that one again. The continuing process of the translation of God produces endless variety within God's unity as one. This variety of the unity is what I have called individuation. It is the individual expression of that which is not separate, but which can be individually expressed. Could that be like God? I mean, here I am, but my arm is an expression. My hand is an expression. My head, all this is an expression of this one total body.
That could be a way to look at it. Yeah.
The purpose of the individual, the whole is greater than the sum parts. I can only experience this. Okay. The purpose of individual expression is for me, capital Me, to experience myself as the whole through the experiencing of my parts. So each of us are parts of the whole.
Yes, yes.
And while the whole is greater than the sum parts, the sum of the parts, I can only experience this by knowing the sum. And that is who you are. You are the sum of God, S-U-M. I have told you this many times before, and many of you have heard this as the Son of God. That too is correct. You are the sons and daughters of God, yet it does not matter what label or names you use. It adds up to the same thing. You are the sum of God.
Mm.
So too is everything around you. Everything that you see and do not see. All that is, all that ever was, and all that ever will be is me. And all that I am now. I am that I am. As I have told you many times, there is nothing that I have ever been that I have ceased to be.
That's bold. Bold statement.
And there is nothing that I will ever be that I am not now.
All right now.
I cannot become anything that I am not now, nor can I fail to be anything that I once was. God's talking some smack here.
I know, right?
This is as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen. I am coming to you now in this day and time as you begin another millennium, so that you may start a new 1,000 years in a new day, in a new way, knowing me at last, choosing me first, and being me always, all ways. Two different words, always, all ways.
Okay.
There is no mistake in the timing. I began these new revelations early in the last decade, and continued my conversations with you throughout the last years of the century, and in the final moments of the last millennium, reminded you how you may have a friendship with me. Now, in the first year of the new millennium, I speak to you with one voice, that we may experience communion. Should you choose this experience of communion with God, you will finally know peace and joy unbounded and love fully expressed and full freedom. Should you choose this truth, you will change your world. Should you choose this reality, you will create it and at last fully experience who you really are. It will be the hardest thing you have ever done and the easiest thing you will ever do.
Wow, ain't that something?
Woo! It will be the hardest thing you have ever done because you will have to deny who you think you are. And stop denying me, God. Okay, and me. See, I just denied. I put it out, put God out there, didn't I?
Yeah.
Y'all didn't catch it. You're supposed to catch it, sisters. Where's old mommy?
I know, right?
She'd say, what you reading?
You gonna call her up.
You know what? She gonna probably pop in just because we said her name. That's what happened.
We gonna conjure her up. Like she comes when she's conjured up. That's what I'm doing.
Right.
I give her a minute.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that again. It will be the hardest thing you have ever done because you will have to deny who you think you are and stop denying me. It will be the easiest thing you will ever do because there will be nothing that you have to do. All you have to do is be, and all you have to be is me.
Wow.
Even this will not be an act of will, but a simple acknowledgement. It will not require an action, only an admission. I have been seeking this admission forever. When you grant me admission, You let me into your life. You admit that you and I are one. This is your ticket to heaven. It says, admit one. When I gain entrance into your heart, you gain entrance into heaven. And your heaven can be on earth. Everything you truly be on earth is as it is in heaven. When the times of separation is over and the time of unification is at hand, unification with me and unification with all others and with every living thing. This is what I have come to tell you once more through the messengers of today. You will know them as my messengers because you will all be bringing the same message.
Uh-huh.
The message is, we are all one.
Mm.
This is the only message that matters. It is the only message there is. Everything else in life is a reflection of this message. Everything else sends it. The fact that you have so far failed to receive it, you have heard in print, you have heard it often, but you have failed to receive it in the print, whatever, is what has caused every misery, every sorrow, every conflict, every heartache in your experience. It has caused every murder, every war, every rape and robbery, every assault and attack, mental, verbal, and physical. It has caused every illness and dis-ease and every encounter with what you call death. The idea that we are not one is an illusion.
Mm. Wow.
Most people believe in God. They just don't believe in a God who believes in them.
Mm. Wow.
God does believe in them, and God loves them more than most of them know. The idea that God turned stones silent and stopped talking to the human race a long time ago is false. The idea that God is angry with the human race and kicked it out of paradise is false. The idea that God has set himself up as judge and jury and will be deciding whether members of the human race go to heaven or hell is false. God loves every human being who ever lived, lives now, or ever will live. God's desire is for every soul to return to God, and God cannot fail in having this desire fulfilled. Why?
Mm.
Because he's God.
Right.
God is separate from nothing, and nothing is separate from God. There is nothing God needs because God is everything there is. This is the good news. Everything else is an illusion. The human race has been living with illusions for a long time. This is not because the human race is stupid, but because the human race is very smart. Humans have understood intuitively that illusions have a purpose, and a very important one. Most humans have simply forgotten that they know this. And they have forgotten that their forgetting is itself part of what they have forgotten, and therefore part of the illusion.
Queen, I think Mama had a question or something. Oh, okay. All right.
Now is the time for humans to remember. You are one of those who will lead the vanguard in this process. There is nothing surprising in this, given what has been going on in your life. You have come to this book to remember the illusions of humans so that you may never again be caught up in them, but achieve communion with God once more in the living of your life through the awareness of ultimate reality. It is perfect that you have done so. It is absolutely not happenstance. You have come here so that you may know experientially that God resides within you, that you may have, whenever you wish, a meeting with the Creator, whenever we want to. Yeah. The Creator may be experienced and found within you and all around you, but you must look past the illusions of humans. You must ignore them. Here are 10 illusions. Get to know them well so that you will recognize them when you encounter them. Number 1, that need exists.
Mm.
Need exists. Failure exists. Disunity exists. Insufficiency exists. Requirement exists. Judgment exists. Condemnation exists. Conditionality exists. Superiority exists. Ignorance exists.
Mm.
The first 5 of these are the physical illusions, having to do with life in your physical body. The second 5 are the metaphysical illusions, having to do with the non-physical realities. In this communication, each of these illusions will be explored in detail. You will see how each has been created, and you will see how each has affected your life. And before this communication is complete, you will also see how you can undo any effects of these illusions that you wish to undo. So we have the power.
What page is that, Queen?
That's I'm in the preface. I mean the prelude on page 16.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and before you do this communication is complete, you will also see how you can undo it. Okay, now the first step in the process of any really open communication is that you must be willing to suspend your disbelief about what you are hearing. You will be asked to do that here. People temporarily give up their previous notions you may have about God and life. You may return to your previous ideas at any time. It is not a question of abandoning them forever, but of merely setting them aside for the moment to allow for the possibility that there may be something you do not know, and knowing of which could change everything. So
Wow.
you don't want to believe whatever. Don't just open up and just sit it right here, because
You
it's
know, it's
the
interesting.
truth.
It's interesting because one of the things I thought about talking about today was being a spiritual being living a physical existence. You know, we say it all the time, but how are we living a spiritual, how are we living spiritually from day to day, moment to moment, So this is speaking to that. So I thank you for sharing this.
Right. Examine, for instance, your reaction to the idea that God is communicating with you right now. In your past, you have found all sorts of reasons not to accept that you could have an actual conversation with God. I'm going to ask you to set those thoughts aside and assume that you are receiving this communication directly from me. To make it easier on you, I will speak of myself in the third person through much of this communication. I recognize that it may be a little unnerving for you to hear me using the first person singular. And so while I will do it once in a while, just to remind you who is bringing you this information, I will most of the time speak of myself simply God. While you're receiving a direct communication from the deity, may seem improbable to you at first. Okay. While you're receiving a direct communication from the deity, capital D, may seem improbable to you at first, understand that you have come to this communication to remember at last who you really are and the illusions that you have created. Soon you will deeply understand that you have actually caused this book to come to you. For now, simply hear me when I tell you that in most of the moments of your life, you are living an illusion.
Mm.
The 10 illusions of humans are very big, very powerful illusions that you created during the earliest part of your experience on Earth. And you created hundreds of smaller ones every day. And you create, because you believe them, you have created a cultural story that allows you to live these illusions and thus make them real. They are not really real, of course, yet you have created an Alice in Wonderland world in which they seem very real indeed. And like the Mad Hatter, you will deny that what is false and that what is real is real. In fact, you have, in fact, been doing this for a very long time.
Wow.
A cultural story is a story that has been handed down from generation to generation across centuries and millennia. It is the story that you tell yourself about yourself. What's up, Star? Communion with God. Because your cultural story is based on illusions, it produces myths rather than an understanding of reality. The cultural story of humans is that God has an agenda. Need exists. The outcome of life is in doubt. Failure exists. You are separate from God. Disunity exists. There is not enough. Insufficiency exists. There is something you have to do. Requirement exists. If you do not do it, you will be punished. Judgment exists. The punishment is everlasting damnation. Condemnation exists. Love is, therefore, conditional. Conditionally exists. Knowing and meeting the conditions renders you superior. Superiority exists. You do not know that these are illusions. Ignorance exists. Not. This cultural story has been so ingrained in you that you now live it fully and completely. This, you tell each other, is just the way it is. You have been telling each other that now. You have been telling each other that now for many centuries, indeed for millennia after millennia. For so long, in fact, that myths have grown up around these illusions and stories. Some of the most prominent myths have been reduced to concepts such as thy will be done, survival of the fittest, to the victor go the spoils. You were born in original sin. The wages of sin are death. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. What you don't know won't hurt you. God only knows. And many others, equally destructive and non-serving. Based on these illusions, stories, and myths, none of which has anything to do with ultimate reality, here is how many humans have come to think about life. So here he says, we are born into a hostile world, run by a God who has things he wants us to do and things he wants us not to do, and will punish us with everlasting torture if we don't get the two right. Continued, here you go. Our first experience in life is separations from our mother, separation from our mother, the source of our life. This creates the context for our entire reality, which we experience as one of separation from the source of all life. We are not only separate from all life, capital life, but from everything else in life. Everything that exists separate from us. And we are separate from everything that exists, everything else that exists. We do not want it this way, but this is the way it is. We wish it were otherwise, and indeed, we strive for it to be otherwise. We seek to experience oneness again with all things, and especially with each other. We may not know why exactly, yet it seems almost instinctual. It feels like the natural thing to do. The only problem is there does not seem to be enough of the other to satisfy us. We are a mess. No matter what the other thing is that we want, we cannot seem to get enough of it. We cannot get enough love. We cannot get enough time. We cannot get enough money. We cannot get enough of whatever it is we think we need in order to be happy and fulfilled. The moment we think that we have enough, we decide that we want more. Since there is not enough of whatever it is we think we need to be happy, we must do stuff to get as much as we can get. Things are required of us in exchange for everything, from God's love to the natural bounty of life. Simply being alive is not enough. Therefore, we, like all of life, are not enough. Because just being isn't sufficient, the competition begins. If there's not enough out there, we have to compete for what's there. We have to compete for everything, including God. The competition is tough. It is about our very survival. In this contest, only the fittest survive, and to the victor go all the spoils. If we love, we live a hell on earth. And after we die, okay. If we love, we live a hell on earth. And after we die, if we are lovers in the competition for God, we experience hell again, this time forever. Death was actually created by God because our forebears made the wrong choices. Adam and Eve had everlasting life in the Garden of Eden. But then Eve, that heifer, she ate the fruit. Oh, it doesn't say that part. The heifer.
I was gonna say, did you say that for me? Oh my goodness.
Oh. Okay. But then Eve ate the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and she and Adam were driven from the garden by an angry God. This God sentenced them and all their progeny forevermore to death as the first punishment. For henceforth, life in the body would be limited and no longer everlasting, and so would the stuff of life. Yet God will give us back our everlasting life if we never again break his rules. God's love is unconditional. No, it is only God's rewards, which are not. God loves us even as he condemns us to everlasting damnation. It hurts him more than it hurts us because he really wants us to return home. But he can't do anything about it if we misbehave. The choice is ours. Isn't this a mess?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, I'm almost. The trick is, therefore, to not misbehave. We need to live a good life. We must strive to do so. In order to do so, we have to know the truth about what God wants and does not want from us. We cannot please God, and we cannot avoid offending him if we do not know right from wrong. So we have to know the truth about that. The truth is simple to understand and easy to know. All we have to do is listen to the prophets, teachers, sages, and the source and founder of our religion. If there is more than one religion and therefore more than one source and founder, then we have to make sure to pick the right one. Picking the wrong one could result in us being a loser or going to hell. When we pick the right one, we are superior. We are better than our peers because we have the truth in on our side. This state of being better allows us to claim most of the prizes in the context without actually contesting them. Deitra, can you read for me, honey?
Oh, I don't have the book.
Oh, when you asked for the page, I thought.
Oh, no. I just want to make note of it when I do get my book. It's at my other house.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Over there. I'm gonna get it though.
What'd you say, Pam? Please. Star is gonna bless us with her reading.
Oh, wonderful. Yay.
You know what? On that subject, oh, Queen, on that subject, I know that when I'm reading, I'm down on the line 2, and my eyes are on line 5. You know, I'm 2 rows under, and that's when I get tangled up because it's like you just drinking the information and like, wait a minute, slow down, self. You know, your peripheral is on paragraph 2, and you on sentence 3. You know, it's just really wild because that happens to me a lot.
Yeah.
And I know sometimes at church when I talk next, you know, when we have to repeat together, like when we saying the Apostles' Creed or whatever, right. There's some people I can sit next to and we flow, and other people when I talk next to them, it doesn't come out right. It's just all fumbled and jumbled.
Yeah.
Funny.
Start right there. Yeah, and then something's happening with these eyes, and I gotta.
I'm reading the whole prelude.
Yeah, you just might as well knock that out. What time is it?
All right. Hello, Queens. When we pick the right one,
Okay.
I need more light than the Queen.
Yeah, I need more light. That's what's going crazy.
When we pick the right one, we are superior. We are better than our peers because we have the truth on our side. This state of being better allows us to claim more of the prizes in the contest without actually contesting them. We get to declare ourselves the winners before the competition begins. It is out of this awareness that we give ourselves all the advantages and write our rules of life in such a way that certain others find it nearly impossible to win the really big prizes. We do not do this out of meanness, but simply in order to ensure that victory is ours, as rightly it should be, since it is those of our religion, of our nationality, of our race, of our gender, of our political persuasion who know the truth and therefore deserve to be winners. Because we deserve to win, we have a right to threaten others, to fight with them, even to kill them if necessary, in order to produce this result. There may be another way to live, another thing that God has in mind, another larger truth. But if there is, we don't know it. In fact, it is not clear whether we are even supposed to know it. It is possible that we are not supposed to even try to know it, much less to truly know and understand God. To try is presumptuous, and to declare that you have actually done so is blasphemous. God, is the unknown knower, the unmoved mover, the great unseen. Therefore, we cannot know the truth that we are required to know in order to meet the conditions that we are required to meet, in order to receive the love that we are required to receive, in order to avoid the condemnation that we are seeking to avoid, in order to have the everlasting life that we had before any of this started. Our ignorance is unfortunate, but should not be problematic. All we need do is take what we think we do know. Let me read that one again. All we need do is take what we think we do know, our cultural story, on faith, and proceed accordingly. This we have tried to do, each according to his or her own beliefs. And thus we have produced the life that we are now living, and the reality on earth that we are creating. This is how most of the human race has it constructed. You each have your minor variations, but this is, in essence, how you live your lives, justify your choices, and rationalize the outcomes. Some of you do not accept all of this, yet all of you accept some of it. And you accept these statements as the operating reality, not because they reflect your innermost wisdom, but because someone else has told you that they are true. At some level, you have had to make yourself believe them. This is called make believe.
Interesting.
Yet now, it is time to move away from make believe and toward what is real. This will not be easy because ultimate reality will differ a great deal from what many people in your world are now agreeing is real. You will literally have to be in this world, but not of it. And what would be the purpose of that if your life is going well? Nothing. There will be no purpose. If you are satisfied with your life and with the world as it is, there would be no reason for you to seek to shift your reality and to stop all this make-believe. This message is for those who are not satisfied with their world as it is.
Amen.
Amen.
We shall now examine the 10 illusions one by one. You will see how each illusion has caused you to create life on your planet as you are now living it. You will notice that each illusion builds on the previous. Many sound very much alike. That is because they are alike. All of the illusions are simply variations on the first illusion. They are grander distortions of the original distortion. You will also notice that each new illusion was created to fix a flaw in the illusion just before. Finally, tired of fixing flaws, you simply decided that you did not understand any of it. Thus, the final illusion: ignorance exists. This allowed you to shrug your shoulders and quit trying to solve the mystery. But the evolving mind would not allow such a retreat for very long. In just a few short millennia, a very brief time, indeed, in the history of the universe, you have come to the place where ignorance is no longer bliss. You are about to climb out of primitive culture. You are about to make a quantum leap in your understandings. You are about to see through the 10 illusions. May the Lord bless the reading and hearing of his word.
Come on now. Come on
Amen.
now. Come on now. Let's get a hand clap.
Reverend Star. You're Reverend Star here.
Rev Star. You know why she needed more light? Because she's a star. She was like, we stars need more light.
Mama,
We had to
how
see her to believe her. That's why that light was shining. We
Mm.
had to see
Come
her to
on now.
believe her.
This little light of mine.
I know. Hey.
Evelyn, how is your daughter doing? Is she doing better?
I just got back home. I think she's still, worried.
Okay. You took
I'm
RJ.
like,
She need to come on here and get a little dose so she can get herself, so she can, have a little dose of some
Yeah,
of this.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna send her some sprinkles in the mail. Send her some sprinkles.
Okay.
So what did y'all get out of any of this?
Oh my God, Queen. I was over here, my head. I was like, don't bump your head on the wall. Oh my gosh. All of it, I was just sharing with Haru. I said, we live a hypocritical life.
Mm-hmm.
We pray and say, God, please, da-da-da-da-da, and God do the da-da-da-da-da, and you go do-da-do-da-do. And you forgot you asked for it.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember when I was little, all I wanted was bosom. And when they came, I was like, what am I supposed to do with these things? And I hid them. I wore shirts buttoned all the way up to the top with a brooch and
Oh,
always
no.
covered. Always covered. But I knew once I saw my mother's friend breastfeed her son and she didn't hide away when we came in, I said, that's what my breast gonna do. All
Right.
my baby dolls were nursed. And I even wanted to nurse my sister, but something wasn't working. I don't know what was going on. I was 9 at the time, and my chest looked like this wall. It looked like this wall. But I believed.
Believed. You believed. No, man, that was a good reading because
really
I
was.
love to hear about illusions. And so that was perfect for me because I wonder, like, how am I dealing with illusions in my life? I know they are happening, but I don't recognize them. So I'm glad it was shared.
Mm-hmm.
So
what is that from? I'm sorry, I didn't get to see what that was from because I was like, communion with God. Okay.
So Deitra, you sharing about what you had going on, what you shared it, you shared your illusion and you didn't nip it in the bud. Excuse me, you gotta go.
Exactly.
You gotta get up out of here.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, Ebony.
I am. So I have a question. Well, no, I have a thought that I wanted to share, and it's gonna be a little deep. No, it's gonna be deep. The experience of people whose someone's choose to leave here.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to be horrified, but it happened. My mother's friend took her own life, and that's how we thought about it. And as I got older and listened and thought about things deeper, I think that some people choose to go be with spirit as opposed to be here.
I can see that. I can see that.
And if they are not successful, then they have more work to do, because we're here until we do our work.
Right.
And I believe that's what I live and feel very deeply in my soul. And even though you may say, no, not me, God. And you can take you can get off on exit 13. You can get on the go to the rest area. But no matter what, the path that was created divinely for you, uniquely for you, you will get back to it.
Right.
You will get back to it. There's no other road for you to take. Now you can go look at other people's roads and ride around in the circle for a little while. Some of us ride around the circle for a long time, but there are exits. And so that's why I stopped saying circles and thought about it as spirals. Because as energy is going out, energy is also flowing in.
Right.
You either spiraling in or you spiraling out. But when people decide to go with spirit, who are we to say no?
Exactly.
Who are we to be mad and angry because they decided to leave? I'm not encouraging it, but that I really believe, because if it wasn't to be, you won't be successful.
Right. Good point. Great point.
Just the way to look at things. Just the way to look.
But it's interesting to see someone choose to let go of this physical existence. I mean, seriously let go. I mean, a friend of mine, he chose to let go. He made it determined. He said, I don't want anything else to keep me here. I want to go. It was like, that was so powerful to me, to make that decision, But people do it. They don't want to deal with stuff, And it's about us accepting. You're right. We gotta let them accept their choice,
Well,
That's some deep stuff, man.
It is. Woo-wee. It is. Because it's not about them not loving you or anything. It's about, it's about themselves. It's about what they're dealing with,
Right. And they don't see a way out. And so
Right.
in that moment of execution, it was complete. And there was no room to change their mind. Like you said, Mama, had people jump off of something, they're gonna die, and all they do is end up with their back messed up, and somebody has to take care of them the rest of their lives, because you couldn't even do that right. Can you see the person who drove them to suicide, and then they didn't make it complete? Now that very person has to take care of them because you drove them to that point.
Right.
But yeah, I did you have something to share? Okay, go ahead.
There's a challenge. This is something God showed me last night and this morning. So I need to explain it to you before I tell you what the challenge is.
Okay,
let me start with me in the womb so that you'll understand. God got me to come down here because he told me that someone that I really cared about was down here waiting for me. So I came. She was in the womb with me along with my brother, but she was taken away. So I felt like I am now trapped down here in this body, betrayed by God. In reality, and I can't go back.
Mm.
So what I did, and this is something that God just showed me last night. What I did was I held on because I was nice and fresh from spirit.
Mm-hmm.
I held on to what it felt like to be there.
Mm.
So from that moment on in the womb, I wanted to go back.
Okay.
I didn't even want to come out. That might be why it took me so long to come out after my brother did. Anyway, here we are, 67 years later. God has not let me leave here.
Right.
And so last night I was listening to the song Ain't No Mountain High Enough, Diana Ross's version.
Okay.
So if any of you have ever heard the song, you know what it says, you know, ain't no mountain high enough, no river Lord high enough, low enough, whatever. So God said it would take that nothing, in reference to the song, nothing will keep me from getting to you when I need to.
All right now. All right.
And what he said, is it that way for you to me?
Mm.
Mm.
Oh, wow.
I thought about it for a minute, and I said, yeah, it's that way for me to you. And so after I said yes, then God says, that's a big choice for you to make. I said, well, why you didn't tell me that before I said yes? And then God said, because I know that you want to go home. So I am using that. He didn't say against you, but he is using that because he knows what my desire is. So he's using it. And then he said, what you said when you said yes, is that you will give up the world and everything in it to get to me.
Wow. Wow.
I didn't know that's what I was saying. Anyway, I said it, and
so ordered.
That's when he showed me that when I was a baby, as to why I have such a desire to go back home, because I remember it. And I made sure that I remembered it because I didn't think I would be here long after I came out here.
Okay. Okay.
Years later. So the challenge is, will you listen to that song with the intention of allowing God to speak to you? It doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to say to you what he said to me, because we're all different people.
Right.
We need different things. So that's the challenge. Diana Ross's version of Ain't No Mountain High Enough.
I received the challenge.
I'm complete.
All right. All right. Challenge.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just writing it down.
Well, Ebony's real quiet today.
Yeah, she's at work, I think.
Yeah, they must be watching her.
Yes, they are.
They make me feel like somebody's watching me. She just going like that. Y'all pray for me.
Right. Exactly.
They might be jealous.
Okay, so how about this? When I gain entrance into your heart, you gain entrance into heaven. How about that? How about we are, so I've always said now, since I read this, my religion, or what I believe is that we are one and that there's no better than. That's what I live by, besides love, you know. So what you have, you know, we are one. What affects, which is what we, you know, what we know, and are really having to live that, and when it shows up as us looking at something separate from us, we come back to we are one. There's nothing out there. There's no God out there. We are one.
Right.
And there's no better than. Whatever is your life is your life, and what you have to experience and what
Right.
you get to experience and share, all of that. So my son asked one time when he was young, and when you go and you're going to do competition, everybody's praying to God to help me beat this person, help me beat that team. So he says, so who does God listen to?
Good question.
Is it the one did they pray harder or better, the one that won? And why didn't the one, they prayed too. Why didn't they win?
Right.
Yeah, that's when the questions about God comes up like that.
That was a good question, though.
Yeah. And I didn't have an answer. I mean, just why? Why? We're all praying,
Right.
if I'm praying for your husband, then that's not right. But sometimes it happens.
Right.
Everybody's in line. He's in line.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's all we have on board for today.
Mm-hmm.
Any announcements anyone wants to share for this upcoming week?
Not really.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
Danielle called me yesterday,
hmm?
and she wants to put together one of the make and takes. And just a minute. And so yeah, so it would be on a Sunday that we could use the space clean.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. And I was saying we needed some more long tables, 8-foot tables. So yeah, so I'm giving that some thought. And I think November, give people like 3 weeks, somebody time in November.
Okay.
Maybe do Thanksgiving break, so people have a break and then there's not any kids, or they may have that long weekend. Maybe we could do it then, if nobody else has any plans. I don't know. We'll talk.
Yes, we will. Okay.
You know what the make and take is going to be?
That's what she was saying. She gotta look at the calendar and see. Hey, sweetie, you feeling better?
Yeah, I wasn't ready to be on camera. I thought she turned the camera off.
Oh, okay. You look
She
beautiful.
want me to do edges.
That's
I was.
right.
Oh, yeah, no. I have, some. I'm gonna see if I can upload the video into the WhatsApp chat, because there's some wood pieces that are really nice, and I just think that the adults should make some really nice things out of them. Just bring my usual stuff, but these big wood pieces I never bring. I didn't bring them to Hug Detroit, and I didn't bring them up to Idlewild, because I thought I want people to like have an experience and sit down and look at this piece of shaped wood and say, and just play around and, yeah, and just show them the techniques on how to paint it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's definitely, I'm gonna upload the video somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not that long. I should be able to upload it into WhatsApp.
Okay.
Okay.
It's so cool. Oh, well, you can talk now. Talk to us, girl. Talk to us.
Hey, lady.
Oh,
Grand Rising.
Grand Rising.
I just moved out of the room because I have a I'm feeling a little isolated at work.
Okay.
I've been uh working through my voice and I'm saying things and people are just not listening. So I'm just at a point where um I don't want to say anything because you're not listening when I say something, you're not listening when I'm not saying nothing. So I'm just in this weird space with with work right now because I'm like they're like, okay, if you tell me what you need, I'll help you, and I tell you what I need, and it kind of goes in one ear and out the other. So it's
Yeah,
I'm
that's tough. That's tough.
I'm trying to figure some things out with my voice because I'm praying really hard. I'm not sure on the times when I'm supposed to use this angry voice or have an attitude, and then I don't want to because it never works out for me when I have an attitude. I have to go back and apologize. So I don't want to have an attitude about it, but it's making me very angry that I'm not getting needs met right now because I'm asking for help and it's nobody helping me.
Mm-hmm.
Like even now, it's even with my manager. Like my manager is literally here, but she, it's a lot going on between. It's like the people that supposed to help me has so much other things on their plate. It's
Mm-hmm.
like I don't really ask for help, and when I do ask for help, it's still not being received. So I'm just in this weird place with work. And I didn't speak much in the beginning because I am literally going through the grief of the card that Sister Deitra put, and I can't really articulate where the grief lies with me
Mm-hmm.
because I'm in such a good place in my life right now. I'm not I feel ungrateful because I'm really not going through anything of grief as opposed to what I'm hearing with everybody else. Like Sister Deitra went through the loss of her sister and she got through it with grace. Mama had went through a grief with her dad and everything. Like everybody is going through so many other things that I shouldn't be feeling like I'm grieving. I should be grateful of the space and position I am, but I feel grief. I feel hurt. I feel grief, and I'm really trying to pray and get the answer of where that grief lies in, I guess, in myself because it's coming out
Did that
and
come
what.
with change? Just a change in life. You're doing a lot of changing. And some things are getting set aside, I believe, because you
Yeah,
can't do everything, right?
yeah,
So some things have to be set aside. So that could be.
that kind of makes sense now because it's just yeah, because I'm like I don't really know how to articulate it, but I feel it
Yes.
and it's heavy and I don't want to set aside the wrong thing. I don't want to make the wrong mistake. And I feel worthy enough to be capable of doing it, but I don't want to fail at doing it.
What's the it?
Um, this new shift, like it's really a new shift. Like I'm in a lot of places where I'm called to be the leader, not a leader, but the leader. Like majority of the final say is coming through me, and I I don't feel adequate enough to do it,
Mm-hmm.
or like the decision I make will be the wrong decision.
Mm-hmm. Guess what?
What?
Sometimes it will be the wrong decision.
And it'd be okay still,
Right. So you move in courage. You move as intuition.
Yeah.
You move from yeah, and of course the most important is just asking the Holy Spirit to show you and to teach you. If nobody's coming to your help, Spirit knows. So that you put into Mary, I need that in me right now to make these choices, to make these, because we're one.
That's true. That's right.
Mary had to answer, I'm here. Okay, I need that. She's busy. So I'm not gonna make it wrong because they're busy. They're like you said, they got a lot on their plate.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm asking, but now they got a lot on their plate. So the timing of that and the timing as well could be just ask me. I'll tell you what she's going to tell you. And I'm going to tell you, this is the Holy Spirit. I'm going to tell you in the way that you understand it so that you can do it in the interpreted way of how I'm giving it to you.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's the fear of making a mistake, which all of them have made.
Position might affect your aging.
Oh,
No matter how
sorry.
old you are, no matter.
About that.
So no matter how old I am.
Oh,
So okay, I got that.
Yeah. But remember, just remember, you laid the children, you've led all these other things. It's just another decision that you have to make. And you do it as the four agreements? You do it the best way you can.
Okay.
And from your heart. Now, when I'm gonna speak to you from Aquarian, because I have really been what's being said about us right now. Even what you're saying, because for me, I was like, well, I'm not feeling. I know I got to get rid of some things or step up in my leadership, and I've really been paying attention to where I've made not the good decisions.
Mm-hmm.
So even with clients, I have one student that I asked her to do something and she doesn't really know me. And she's probably like, who is she asking me? And I said, that's leadership. That's not good. And other things that I'm really looking at in leadership where I'm not communicating everything, where because I'm one that I assume that even if that's your passion, I assume that and that the assumption is that you know it in the way that I know it.
Yeah, exactly.
Which could be different. Usually is different, and like my mom used to say, get in there and do them dishes. Get in there and do them dishes is different to me. At least that was the game I was playing. Then go clean the kitchen up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did the dish.
Grand
Wait,
Rising.
it made clean. No, I was raising my hand. That was me. I didn't know that wash the dishes meant clean up the kitchen.
The whole
Yeah. Yeah.
But we knew it, because we didn't got in
But
trouble.
that's not what they said.
Around it, but we're playing around with that.
Mm.
We're playing around with that. So, yeah. So just walk in because you're going like Deitra was saying, you're going into a new position and you're going into leadership. Is scaring you, but you got it. You got it as long as you don't think it's about you.
Yeah.
You're just being used by the Holy Spirit. It's coming through you in the way that you think, in the way that you present yourself, all of that, and just be the best. Yeah, I was talking to actually Danielle. We were talking about a situation, and I was just saying, just be excellent. Just be excellent.
And
Yeah.
don't,
And
The excellent is that all you can be. And if that's not,
Yeah.
that's, you showed up, you gave the best answers for the situation. And then guess what? In the next moment, it can change. In the next moment, it can change. Every now it can change. And don't be afraid of that, because some of the best things come out of, you was about to make a cake this way and something happened, something wasn't there, you forgot something, or you didn't stir it enough or whatever. And then a whole nother thing was created from that blurb.
Yeah.
And I want to say thank you, Queen Aduni, because I took your advice and I stood in my excellence. You were using the word excellence, go back to my childhood, because the private school I went to, our mantra was excellence or nothing at all. So I handled it. I took care of it. It is the situation is 95% resolved, and it will be completely resolved tomorrow. So I just have to say thank you for, she didn't criticize me. She didn't yell at me. She gave me clear sound advice for me to handle and take care of the situation. And that's the type of leadership that I want to follow as well, so that people can be empowered to handle things themselves, for the greater good of the cause. So I have to say thank you, because I needed that mentorship. I needed it, and I got it. And yes, it's handled. It's being handled. Thank you.
that's wonderful. That is,
That's beautiful.
You're welcome.
but I want to share with you too, Ebony, is that as we go to higher steps in life, all the things we are part of in the past, you don't have to bring all that with you. It doesn't, it's gonna come with you because you have that knowledge, but that the work you are doing, some things we have to let that go to someone else as we go into something new to do, I hope that makes sense, but
It does.
because
It
sometimes
really
it's
does.
overwhelming if we try to take everything, and be a part of everything,
And that is what our horoscope is saying.
Yeah.
We're going to have to walk away from some things. And some people won't like it. We may not even like it, but some things we had to make a choice. I was dealing with something last night, and I called Rev for some coaching. And it is a thing of that now it's time to cut the cords and make that move and be strong enough. Because you said you ain't
Let that be okay.
Yeah,
let that be okay.
Yeah.
She's gonna be okay. Ebony, I know you're moving to a different form of leadership. Like I said, I met you this time last year, and you are a much wiser, stronger, and bolder woman than the person I sat next to at the Creators Conference a year ago. You have made major moves. And even for me, I had a friendship literally that dissolved with, when I got my LLC. I thought somebody was encouraging me. I called them up like, hey, sis, I got my LLC. And she texted me back like, and you're telling me because why?
Wow.
I was like, okay, it's cool. I can walk away from that and be
okay
with it, because now I'm in a, you know what? I got a millionaires on speed dial. And I had a situation yesterday where I needed to call corporate for Tava, and I'm sitting here. The person in customer service had a really bad attitude that it almost turned off the person I was with and upgrading. And then I dawned on it, Danielle, you're right. Not only do you have the creators of Tavaverse on your phone, you're right up under the CFO. And I thought about it. It's like, I can go straight to the top. Why am I dealing with the middle people when I have access to the top? And it was an epiphany, like, whoa, you can go directly to the source and don't have to deal with the middle people. So when there's a problem, I'm not going to deal with that person in customer service. I can deal with the people at the top. And that's a really good position to be in when I was like, whoa, this is major. This is big. So yeah, you just got to be okay with it, because you're going to another, and everybody's not going to come with you at the same exact time. And you have to be okay with that. And you might be by yourself, because I felt like I was by myself for a second. And then other people start showing up, other guidance and wisdom and everything started showing up, and it's like, okay, I'm not by myself. I have the people around me who I need to be around me, and you will too. You
Yes.
will too.
Yeah,
Ebony?
and I feel like you guys are very much a part of me,
Yeah.
and I feel like the bound the real let go, like you guys say, let go, or the people will fall behind. And I'm just sad that I know the people that's gonna fall behind is my family.
Mm.
I've been spending a lot of time away from my family, like towards the beginning of our meetings, and I just got back with my family a few months ago, and I feel heavy. Like I feel like this heaviness. They like, oh, you don't have your son, you should be depressed. You always by yourself, you should be depressed. Like I don't feel depressed. I just feel like I don't want to be bothered with you guys and what you guys are saying to me about how I'm choosing to live my life. And then it's like, uh, should I stay my family? Like I just got it's kind of like how am I supposed to break up with
I
my
feel
family?
well, it's not a breakup, but you are choosing to live your life the way that you want to choose, and how you deal and associate with people is up to you. I'm going through the same exact thing. The transition I just went through in the last couple of months, my family's giving me all kind of advice about how I should live my life according to how they live their life or how they perceive. And I'm like, you know what? First of all, I got to stop telling them everything. I ain't gonna tell you everything. How are you? I'm good. I'm blessed. I'm good. You need anything? No, I'm okay. If I need something, I ask. If not, no. I'm not gonna tell you everything. I can't tell you everything, because if I tell you everything, then I have to listen to your opinion. So I keep it short and simple. I'm blessed and highly favored. I'm doing well. I'm okay. I'm good. You have to put those boundaries there. It's a lesson in boundaries, which if you deal with your family, so don't look at it as a breakup. Just look at it as a transition in the relationship that you have with people, because eventually they may follow you once they see the change overall in your life. But you just got to keep it short and sweet. Keep it, just keep it short and sweet, because it's like,
Remember that, remember Jesus went through that too. He had to say, my family is those that think with me. Even though his blood family, they were saying different things and doing stuff, he had to let that go, because they were different, so he made a statement about that, my family is those that are with me, so.
and we your family. We got you, boo.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, it is 10:01.
Okay.
Oh
And
wow, that flew past.
It sure
yeah,
did.
well,
I'm gonna hide away more often then.
yeah, so just enjoy your introduction to leadership
Yes.
Yeah.
and the transformation.
Anyway, you've been leading, honey. You've been leading.
Right, right,
change.
right.
Okay.
And we're required to love our families,
Right.
and love one another. And they all have their paths that they go through, and there is no better than. Your path is not any better than mine. And because I'm being blessed and you going through all kind of hell, doesn't mean that, that I'm better than you or you better than me. It's just where each of us are in what we're doing. I remember when I wanted two of my family members, I was asking God, why do I have to deal with them? Why do I have to deal with them? I just want them to, just fix that and let them, I just want them to go on somewhere else. And then the Spirit said, yeah, okay, but I want you to let Irish go. Irish was she's dead now, but she was like, as my cousin. We were raised together like sisters and stuff. And the Spirit says she has things that she wants to do. She has goals. And I didn't know that would take her all the way out of Detroit and, all that kind of stuff. But it wasn't that I was in a better position or anything. It was just like, I have some things for her too. And she has been like, like Pam. Pam is a server of leaders you know, and says she has served, she's done y'all's dream. Now it's time for her to do her dream. And I was like, but you know, we just had to deal from a different space. And you get to discover that with your family.
Sometimes, you know, it's been said you love from a distance. You still love them, but it's just a different way of doing it.
You're just busy
Right.
going to the next level. And you must shed some things that is not productive for you, that you used to do, but now, yeah, based on the respect of where you are and what you're going through. And those who would get it, and those who don't, because you don't get them.
Right.
No, I don't.
Many things that you don't agree, we all don't agree with how someone is raising their kid or how they're handling a situation and stuff, but they don't stop doing it just because you don't agree. They move it right on with their
Phone moving.
yeah, and the same, remembering that, and that's what I get. If anything, from Course in Miracles is that that projection that I project out on somebody else is because it's in there for me.
Right.
Mhm.
That's how I'm seeing stuff. And if that's not working, I need to change the illusions that we were talking about. We got these illusions that we need the illusions that we can't be a leader, an illusion that we don't know, an illusion, and being able to walk as one with God. So, okay, good. So we are going to close now. Thank you for sharing, everyone who shared.
Thank you, ladies.
Much love to you all.
I love you all.
Love you too.
A hug.
Oh, we got a hug.
Girl.
I love you, girl.
That's right, girl.
I know that's right. Good love. Good
Don't
love.
and don't forget about the
Want us to
lunch and
forget?
learn.
Or you want us
No, do not forget about the lunch
No.
and learn.
Remember.
You want us to forget, or you want us to remember?
Okay, save the date and remember. Put it in your calendar now for the lunch and learn that we are hosting with Jewel Tankard, and it's Tuesday, October 17th from 12 to 2. It's online and it's in person. So you can go to Eventbrite, type in Tabaverse Detroit, it will pop up, register for yourself, and share it with your friends, your family, your colleagues, your colleagues, anyone that's interested in being a millionaire and not financially struggling no more and wanting the financial education to level up. They want to be there. You want to meet this woman in person. She is absolutely amazing. And yeah, October 17th, like I said, we in person and online, but you have to register. So go and register on the Eventbrite.
Thanks for sharing, Danielle. And I want to remind everybody that tomorrow there will be about 2:20. You might have heard it already. You will hear a siren coming through your phone or your computer. It's a notification from whoever. Who gives that? I don't remember.
They're supposed to be testing the emergency system, is what they're saying.
That's right, testing the system, yeah.
So power down your phones, but like around 2:15, just power down your phone for 10, 15 minutes. Because they're saying it's supposed to affect people who have I heard so much, but if you don't want to hear it, just power down your phone at 2:15 and turn it back on at like 2:25. You'll be okay.
Okay. Much love, family.
They're going to do it over the TVs and radios too.
Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty then. Alrighty.